Boop-a-dip-bap, boop, boop.
Boop, 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 boop,
Boop-a-da-da-bap, boop-a-da-bap, boop, 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 bap-a-da.
and that's it. That's the song. That's all the song.
I guess that's our opening bit this week. The
Yep.
Mario song. That's
A
creativity
shitty,
going on here.
a shitty
All the brain power
acapella.
we're doing. We do
But
brain power good.
It's a chill day. You know, it's freaking hotter than the devil's asshole. It's humider than
I say, it
the
is hotter than the
humidori.
devil's asshole here.
Now
Pardon my language.
I might be a simple Southern Kentucky lawyer, but I say it is downright hotter than the devil's asshole in this courtroom today. And y'all must have quit. And then they
If the
do.
glove don't fit, you must quit.
And then they do. And everyone celebrates. Because that's how those movies always go.
Yeah, that's every legal movie right there.
From My Cousin Vinny to...
If the glove don't fit, you must quit.
To Kill a Mockingbird. Which is also about a lawyer defending a black guy who is accused of murder. Except the difference is that OJ did it.
OJ did do it.
And everyone knows. My dude wrote a fucking book about it. What a weird country we live in.
There's a lot of weird stuff, though, in other countries about people that committed murder. There's one dude I think that was on like TV. I think he was Chinese or Japanese. I think he was Japanese, where he ate some woman and then got invited on talk shows to talk about it.
That was Japan. I know exactly what you're talking about, and that dude was in Japan.
Because he had a rich father or something, so he kind of got up, like, he didn't do much time.
Turns out money can buy freedom all across the globe.
You can do anything with money. Anything.
Including start a podcast. Like this one.
This podcast was started with I think a negative budget.
It was. This is not the highest budget podcast out there.
Considering we're also still recording over Skype, even though the COVID has ended. Well, it hasn't ended, but like the regulations have ended.
The COVID has
nice
not
if it ended. We were just like, yeah, it's over.
That's kind of how we're treating it, and we all know how well that's going.
I'd say we'd be dating this episode talking about it, but all of our episodes are dated.
Yes.
We talk about old shows like they're new. It's new to us right now, but next week it's not.
The entire premise of this show dates itself. What do we do on this podcast?
We talk about episodes of anime that are new this week, but won't be in a few years' time.
That sounds fascinating. Shows like what?
We talk about this season 5 shows, specifically The God of High School, Monster Girl Doctor, The Misfit of Demon King Academy, Rent a Girlfriend, and Fire Force.
Wow, that sounds great. Let's talk about show 1 first.
Yes, show 1, The God of High School, is the first show on our list.
I should have known you just read off the fucking list. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't remember what shows we start with.
We start with The God of High School.
This show that has, I would say, one of my favorite OPs, which should surprise no one who knows my music taste.
I would actually say that it's just...
Yeah. Yeah, and I like it. Because it's over well-animated shots of people fighting with kung fu moves. It gets me hype every time. It sets the tone to watch people kick the shit out of each other.
And you know what's great about this week's episode? It's basically just fights.
Yes,
That's all we need.
It's great.
So Mira, the sword girl, fights the wrestling lady this week.
Buff wrestle lady.
Yeah, she's from America, and she came to participate in this tournament to get a harem of beautiful men.
There was one moment in this episode where they're like, she's the Pan-American Pro Wrestling Champion. To which I responded, these are supposed to be high schoolers.
Yes.
This woman is a pro wrestling champion in high school.
I think they even mention like WWE too.
They do. Oh, it's WWD.
WWD. Which I don't know, maybe in their world, the world of the god of high school, wrestling isn't fake.
You know what? Based on the moves this woman pulls out, I don't think it is.
It's more like lucha than wrestling.
It is. She freaking grabs Mira and throws her into a spiral DD fucking T pile driver. That shit is nuts.
And
I like it.
For some weird reason, Mira's whole thing is, I'm gonna be the greatest swordsman or something. And the second she loses her sword, she's way better.
Yeah, because turns out she doesn't. Huh. This line made me actually laugh. She doesn't need a sword
Her
to
body
fight
is a
with
blade.
the blade. Man, that's like, I can draw a direct parallel to this week's episode of The Misfit of Demon King Academy, where he's like, just because you kill me doesn't mean I've died. No, what is it? It's something even dumber than that. Did you really think that killing me would be enough to make me die?
Yeah, I tweeted, don't tell Shiro, because Shiro's whole thing was, people die when they are killed.
Yes. And it's just... Oh.
But yeah, so she should totally drop the sword thing, because her no sword style is apparently way better.
She like karate chops the air and sends air blades. What the fuck? Although, to be fair, she's been using a wooden training sword this whole time, so like I can kind of get why, because like I'd imagine her style would be better with an actual sword, just period.
Also, I feel like I don't know, just a wooden sword in general. I don't know, because the dude with the baseball bat, I feel like that would hurt way more to get hit with than the wooden sword.
Yeah, because it's metal.
And you're supposed to get whacked a couple of times with a wooden sword. It's made so it doesn't hurt you that much.
Yeah, and this is a well-used one. Like, I saw the shot of it previously, and I was like, man, that shit is gonna break.
Especially in a competition where everyone has borderline superpowers.
Yeah, you're taking a wooden sword that is already heavily used to a competition where a man can shoot fucking force waves out of his fists. God damn it.
Yeah, but she wins because no sword style is apparently the ultimate style. And then the next one is Dewa, and he fights the glasses dude with the aluminum bat.
Fist Boy fights, I've studied all your moves.
Also, it turns out it's his best friend that is the person who has he's sick.
Yes.
So that's why he wants the money.
They decided to really push the boundaries of
and
tropes.
Not make it a little sister, because it's always a little sister.
Yes. And you know what? I like his friend. His friend seems pretty cool. We also get a scene where Dewa is bullied at one of his like 69 million jobs by some dudes who are like, I'm glad your friend is sick and dying, because we're bad.
We're assholes.
We're just dicks.
It's like, do you not know that this guy is participating in the superhuman tournament right now?
And if you don't, why? Like, it seems pretty well publicized.
Yeah, considering it's in it's essentially in their Superdome.
And like,
It's on live TV.
there's TV broadcasts everywhere. How do you not know that this guy could punch force fields out of his hand and destroy that entire building in one blow? Because they're dicks. Fuck it, whatever. But
yeah, he fights Karate Dude, and not Karate Dude. He does karate. He fights Aluminum Bat Dude, who reads the book all the time, and he's like, you do karate. I've studied karate 3 years ago. I know all the moves.
3 years ago, I studied every form and move in karate. And to be fair, that would actually kind of work. Because, like, that's how karate is.
Yeah.
It is all forms and kata.
And he looks like he's actually going to start winning because he starts kicking the shit out of him. Like, every time he does a move, he just hits him with the bat, and he's like, here, and there, and then here.
I've studied all your moves, Sonya.
But then
Sonya.
Dewa just he starts fighting back, and he's like, was that a fluke? No, I've just adjusted your timing. My body has memorized it.
I used my body to memorize your timing, because that's a thing. Don't question it. Shut up.
And there's one point, too, where the dude with the bat actually slips, and it looks like Dewa is going to go in for, like, the killing blow, but instead he just reaches out a hand to him. He's like, why? Well, you slipped and fell. Only a coward would take advantage of that situation.
I like him. That was a good moment. I enjoyed it.
And he does end up winning because he does his weird, like, third form, second form, first form, white tiger strike.
He does kata. And one of the amusing things was, like, my mom and I have taken karate. So, like, when we watched that scene, both of us were like, oh, there's going to be a fourth form. And he doesn't even get to the fourth form, dude.
Because the dude just collapses because he's like, you destroyed my theory.
You have bested my theory and myself.
Because Book Guy seems to think that, if I know all the moves, then I'll automatically win.
If I've studied all your moves, Sonya. A reference to the magnum opus of films, the early 2000s Mortal Kombat film.
Yeah, even if you study all the moves, you can't really. You gotta do
timing. It.
It's all about the reads.
Do it.
You gotta have good
reads. I think gets shit kicked out of him. We also learn about Jin's punishment because the evil president guy Jin Park figures out that he's the nephew of he's the grandson
of some special martial artists or something.
Yeah, so he gives him demon fruit.
And his punishment is that he can stay in the tournament only if he beats in a fight one of the commissioners, who's the glasses dude with the green hair.
Yeah.
And he goes home and he eats his fruit, but turns out that fruit was from some secret Buddhist vault that they have in the basement.
It's secret devil Death 13 fruit.
It's the secret gum devil fruit.
And he eats it and he coughs up a shit ton of blood. But then he shows up. He shows up the next day anyway. Because he is the real deal.
The president guy's all real happy because he wanted to make sure he was the one. And the fruit was going to be the way to tell.
He was the Owen.
But now he's stronger. All he had to do was knock down the commissioner guy, and he does it instantly.
And he doesn't even like punch him. He just runs. He is instant transmissions up to him, takes his glasses off, and is like, "I told you to take the glasses off," and just pushes him lightly onto the ground. And everyone's like, "What the fuck, dude?"
And then he tries to go to hit him, and Jin just kicks him, and he goes flying. And then he gets real mad, and a stand comes out of him.
He unleashes his stand.
Death 13.
Death 13.
But yeah, so a giant scythe monster comes out of him, and it looks like it's actually about to kill Jin, but then all the other commissioners come in and stop him, and the president guy comes over and says to him, I'm cutting your pay for the next 3 months. I'm sure you know why.
I can't imagine why.
Because he unleashed the stand. You're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to unleash your stand in front of non-stand users.
But that means Jin gets to stay in the tournament now, which, because of course he does.
And I would fucking
Imagine he's out of high
guarantee
school.
it.
He's like, I guess I'm out of the tournament now, guys. See you later.
I guarantee he's got a stand.
Everyone's got stands.
How is he gonna fight anyone now? Like, he was already clearly top tier. Now he's better than that.
No, we have that cult that they showed, so the cult's probably going to crash the tournament.
Yeah, that'll be cool. This
Yeah.
ball gag girl.
Yeah, like this weird cult where everyone's like wearing just like I'm sure under their robes it gets even weirder.
I would guarantee it.
Yeah, so he'll fight ball gag girl, maybe.
This ball gag girl. There's bandage boy. This white-haired kid who is very clearly the leader.
Yep. That's who he fights. Everyone else has to fight the lower ranking people.
I would guarantee that, like, the girl is gonna get paired up with Mira.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. You know what would be kind of neat is if they paired up the bad guys with the other competitors in the tournament.
Yeah. I don't know how important some of these people are, because they mentioned that the Tai Chi guy is done and out.
So is Evil Dude.
Yeah, so what was
Jin kick.
Are they just done? What was the point of them?
They are out of the tournament because one dude got beaten too bad. He lost the mental battle. And then the Evil Dude got the shit kicked out of him so hard by Jin that his mind just snapped. He's done. GG no re.
But I'm excited for the bad guys to show up and more fighting. Just fights. That's all we need from this.
The fights are cool, and I would very much like more of them.
Just the fights.
What's next? What do we got?
Monster Girl Doctor.
I like the Franken girl.
Yeah, she's not a zombie. She's a flesh golem.
She's a Franken girl.
Yeah, she is a Frankenstein's monster. So we get the opening where she's fighting a couple of generic bandit-looking dudes in like hoods, and she loses an arm in the fight.
And she's taken by the council representative, who is, I guess, so quiet that literally no one else can understand her.
Scotty Dragonfeld.
Can you guess what monster she is?
She is a dragon.
She's a dragon.
And
she's a dragon.
So they approach Glenn's clinic because they need his help, and apparently the flesh golem hates doctors because obviously she was put together by a mad scientist-esque doctor.
Yeah, if I was a flesh golem, I would probably hate doctors too.
And her whole thing is, I don't need your help. I'm going to go find my arm and reattach it by myself.
You can all imagine just how well that goes.
Instead, it just gets worse. She loses a leg.
Yes, she is ambushed. She loses her leg. It's not cut off. It is hit so hard with the blunt object that the sutures break.
Because, she's all just stitched together, so everything can just, just pop right off.
She's convertible. You can take all her bits and reassemble them in whatever order you choose. That would be real fucked up.
It would.
I think there's an SCP that's like that, actually.
Probably, considering the amount of, open source SCP is. You can just add anything.
Yeah. I know there's one that's just a lake where it doesn't do anything, but it's a place they send tired personnel to, monitor when they need a break.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll be monitoring SCP X5 whatever. Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, But Glenn finds her leg because
Well,
it's just like left in the street. Well, actually, the horse girl does because it turns out
yes.
she shows up. The other two monsters from the two previous episodes show up, which is interesting because I thought it was going to be like a one and done sort of deal. Like we never see them again.
No, they just kind of pop up periodically.
But then the horse girl mentions to Glenn that he should probably stop like examining the leg because he looks like a fucking weirdo.
And his response is, please don't tell the lizard, the
Because
snake
he's just like
girl.
running his hand along it, like, huh, you can see the different stitchings here, all different parts. And also, the flesh golem girl, her kunai, can actually feel all of that, even though it's severed.
Oh yeah, the ninja warrior flesh golem girl is named Kunai.
Yeah.
Get it?
And your lewdness for this episode is him touching her leg.
Yeah, and
Because
it
apparently it's very sensitive.
it gets pretty intense later. But we'll get to that. So he's
Yeah.
just basically walking around town with this
Just with a leg.
fucking
Like he
I
tries to wrap it up, but like the foot's still sticking out.
I actually thought it was kind of funny because he's walking around with this fucking twitching leg, and you can see in the background there are two like wolf people that are staring at him like he is insane because
Yeah,
he's
and
just walking around with a fucking leg.
the mermaid girl shows back up and she's like, "Hey, Dr. Glenn. So apparently everyone thinks you're trying to collect body parts for a weird experiment."
Oh no, these are just parts of a patient that I'm putting together,
And she's
which
like,
is
"Yeah,
totally not what someone who's trying to do a weird body part experiment would say.
but apparently everyone knows kunai, which makes it a lot easier to explain."
Yeah, being the bodyguard of the city council lady, as well as a Coliseum champion, kind of works out in her favor.
And the mermaid girl is like, "Hey, I got something for you," and gives him the arm because apparently someone just chucked it in the stream.
It made me really wonder because, like, it makes sense in this world to just like, yeah, no one's gonna find this if I fucking throw it in the river. There are a lot of mer people in this city. Why would anyone throw anything in the river to dispose of it? There are fucking mer people down there. Of course they're gonna find it.
Yeah,
That's just sloppy.
but yeah, she gives him the arm, and shortly after he finds kunai because she's just been sitting in an alleyway because she's missing an arm and legs, so she can't really do much.
Yeah, she just sits down and takes 5. And they
Yeah,
actually ask the arm to point the way to where she is.
because the mermaid girl's like, "How about you just ask the limbs?" And since they kind of have a mind of their own, they just are like, like the fingers are like that way. They don't say anything, but if they could speak, that's what they would sound like.
That way, Chief.
That way.
Take a right on 6th Street. If you hit
If you hit
Tony's
Third
Pub,
Avenue,
you've gone too far. Why is that always like a unit of measurement? It's like if you hit 17th and 49th, you gone too far. That's like 7 streets away from where you pointed me. Why would I ever go that far?
I don't know. Maybe you're a fucking moron.
You know what? That's fair. There are a lot of those out there.
But yeah, once he finds her, he convinces her to let him sew her arm back on, and he does it with a sort of gentle care that makes her realize, huh, maybe not all doctors are bad. And she says,
Hashtag not all doctors.
not all doctors. And he ends up trying to make sure to like ease her suffering, make sure she's not in any pain or anything, even though she can't feel most of anything in her arm. And she's like, "I didn't think all doctors would be like you." And he says, "Well, I'd like to think I'm not in the minority here." That's kind of the
Yeah.
goal of doctors.
I feel like the scene where she's actually talking to him instead of the incredibly graphic.
Basically, the arm scene is fine. The leg one's the lewd one.
It's like they clearly delineated, all right, when we do the arm scene, it's going to be plot development and character building. Leg scene is all lewdness. Fuck it.
Yeah,
That'll be our quota.
because he puts her arm back on and it's better than ever because he makes it more connected to her instead of just being someone else's flesh, which is most of her body.
Yeah,
That's why it all has a mind of its own.
He goes the extra mile to connect her nerve endings and her freaking
blood vessels,
veins and blood vessels and all that fun stuff. It'll probably stay on a lot better if he does that too.
Yeah. And then he goes for the leg, and then she's just moaning the entire time because apparently whoever made her made the leg sensitive. And he even comments on the fact that, man, whoever did the original experiment on you was real fucked up.
Yeah, I don't think she was built to fight.
No.
That's just a preliminary guess. She was not a fighting model of flesh golem. I won't
just think someone built a flesh golem as a basically as a sex doll.
See,
but think it's made out of corpses, man.
That's what I was wondering is like, does she feel all cold and waxy like a corpse? Because that
also,
would be real gross.
You can see different parts are more decayed than others.
Yeah.
Like some flesh is just like purple.
It's not ideal. It's not ideal.
Here in the Protagonist seat, we don't advocate for necrophilia.
We, as this episode is proven, we're pretty against that shit. It's gross. Put that on the business card. Necrophilia is pretty gross.
Says the guy last week who was like, I do like zombie girls.
I do, but they look like people. And to be fair, I am down with Flesh Golem Girl.
We more at the Protagonist seat are 50-50 on necrophilia.
More than Mermaid Girl, even though I really like sharks. It's because she's yellow. She's like I think she's a lemon shark. Nah, dude. Get me a freaking tiger shark.
But yeah, of course she falls for Glenn because that's everybody he treats. And then after
Dr. Glenn.
He heads back. And there's a part where the bandits kind of see him, but I thought they were going to do something, like attack him there, but they just let him go home.
Yeah, I kind of thought that they were going to like ambush him and then she was going to have to come rescue him. But fuck that, I guess.
But
it's fine.
Yeah. Also, we see Safi has a rival who is the spider, because of course, the snake and the spider.
And they're drinking buddies.
Yeah. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's that whole scene. We'll
move on. The Protagonist seat, the 50-50 on necrophilia podcast.
Oh yeah, and Safi is pregnant, I guess, even though I don't think she is.
I'm pretty sure, it's gonna be just a joke.
Well, like, the next episode is like the extremely sick Lamia or something, so I'm gonna assume it's a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Wait, I wonder if like that's a specific. Do snakes is that a known thing? They get tumors all the time?
I mean, I don't know if they get them all the time, but I mean, it's got to be within the realm of possibility.
I guess everything can get a tumor.
Maybe she swallowed something she shouldn't have.
Actually, think about it. Did she eat like a snake? Because I think she just eats like a regular person. But this whole snake digestive system is just like swallow something really big and then just kind of let your stomach do it. Fuck, we're getting into the snake anatomy again.
That's a good question. Well, there's so much shit to go into with how weirdly incompatible humans are with snakes.
Like unhinges?
I mean, I would imagine so. We've never seen it.
Because like that's what they do. They unhinge their jaw, they swallow something, and then they just let their stomach do what it is.
We gotta have another good bit this episode, because I am not fucking making the second headliner I do be about Snake Girl anatomy.
It's probably gonna be about that, but the how come are snakes like stomachs really like how does I don't understand how if it eats like a bear or something or like how does it not claw its way out?
I mean, a snake would not eat a bear.
I know, but like boa constrictors eat really big things.
Uh,
Fine, if I
no,
ate like a wolf or something.
just like don't eat those.
Like,
They're sharp.
how do you not claw? Like, basically, if a snake swallowed me and I had a knife on me, could I get out of the snake?
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm good.
just always, just always carry a knife on you in case you get eaten by a snake.
Yeah, just make sure it doesn't crush me first, because I'm assuming that's what it's gonna do.
Do you remember that dude who built the snake-proof suit and was like, "I'm gonna let a snake eat me on live camera"?
I don't.
This was an actual thing that happened. A guy built a suit that was supposed to be armored enough so that you could get eaten by a live snake and be okay.
Did it not work?
He got like one arm in and called off the experiment because he was like, I don't like the way it had my arm in its mouth. And I was like, dude, that's what you fucking signed up for. And then he looked like an idiot, and I don't think he's ever done anything else. This is a thing that happened.
I don't know. I'm just trying to sit here thinking, I'm like, she can't possibly eat the same amount as Glenn and just be fine. It's like the two of them can't just have some rice with chopsticks and be like, that's our breakfast.
Yeah. She's got to have some protein.
Yeah.
I don't. What is snake like? Snakes eat like rats,
They just eat, like,
mice.
they eat any animal that's pretty much weaker than them. They eat crocodiles.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think they're supposed to, because I remember there was a boa constrictor in Florida or something that tried to eat a crocodile or an alligator, and its stomach, like, both died. Like, its just stomach blew out because it just couldn't fit the entire thing.
That is insane.
But it'll try. That's the thing. Just anything they can try to eat, they will.
Snakes are kind of like sharks. Because sharks will do this. A lot of sharks will do the same thing.
Well, sharks don't eat it in one go, though. A shark, I guess, could eat anything. It just has to take a couple of chunks out of it.
Yeah, and they're built for that shit.
Yeah. Snakes have to do it in, like, one go.
Just do it in one. You can eat anything you want, but you have to eat it in one bite.
Yeah. It's
That's
like, all
the
right,
curse of the snake.
let's just triple stack cheeseburger. Just, oh,
And then you choke and die because you're not a snake. Or are you? Bwah, bwah, bwah.
We should probably move on to the other show, though, until we, like, start getting... I want to avoid us getting into vor territory.
Yes. What is next?
Next up is The Misfit of Demon King Academy.
There's no vor at all in that show. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think we're good for the rest of the list, thankfully.
So we learn about Sasha's plan. No.
Turns out,
Yes.
where Misha said last week that Misha never technically existed, Misha and Sasha are the same person. Their soul is split into two.
Turns out it's not homunculi, dudes. It's even dumber than that.
Yeah, it's a split soul.
Basically the
Sasha is the
patron-
original too.
Yeah. The patron was like, I'm going to make a better vessel by splitting you guys for 15 years and then
you both get
reforming you.
Yeah. The idea is both of them get really strong individually, and then they become one person, so you get double the strength.
So you get a super great person.
But of course, this means Misha gets deleted and absorbed back into Sasha.
Yeah, and Misha's okay with this because she's like, I get to be with you forever, sis. And I'm like, that's fucking creepy.
And then we find out that's Sasha's whole plan is that she wants to make Misha the original because she thinks Misha deserves it more.
Yeah, so her whole plan functions around like these two spell circles that she spent her whole life developing. And the key to it is making Misha hate her so that at the time when they have to rejoin, Misha is basically like, no, fuck you. I'm the original now.
And then she can just give herself to her, and then she becomes the original. But of course, Anos is like, nah, I got a plan for this.
Nah, fuck that, dude.
Also, yeah, when he finds out Misha's okay with dying, he gives her a big hug because that's his waifu, and he's not letting his waifu die.
And it's very wholesome, and I enjoy it.
And they find Sasha, and after they're about to do that whole rejoining thing, he basically tells them that he has a plan to send them back in time.
Don't worry, dudes. I'll just rewrite fucking time so you guys are separate forever the whole time.
And then, no! Psh, busting down from the ceiling is Ivus Necron.
Holy shit.
And he stabs Anos with a giant greatsword right through his chest. Blood everywhere. Up, he's killed him. It's over. Anos is dead. 3 episodes in, he's dead.
Smash cut to credits. Show's over, motherfuckers.
What a show.
But that doesn't happen. Because he's fine.
I thought people die when they are killed.
No.
That's what I was told.
Did you really think that killing Anos would be enough to make him die?
What? This isn't what Shiro taught me.
No, we don't live by the Shiro school anymore. We live by the Anos school. Fuck everything. If it doesn't mesh with you, just break it until it does.
Did you watch the opening this week?
No.
His voice actor sung the opening song this week.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I like his voice actor.
Yeah, he sung instead of whoever normally does the song. But yeah, so he ends up doing the time travel thing, and then the god of time shows up, and for some reason pulls out, he gives his powers to Ivus. I don't know why.
Yeah, he like
you're the time god now.
You're the look at me. I'm the time god now.
Just imagine, it's just like you get punched in the face, you slam into a wall, and then all of a sudden the time god just pulls you in. You're the time god now.
What is this, a Tyler campaign?
Yeah, that's what happens. You're the time god.
This whole sequence, like basically this entire episode,
up to this was weird.
It's so bizarre. Like the whole episode, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But eventually, I just decided I'm just gonna let it ride.
Because he stops time, and Misha and Sasha can't move, but he can move because fuck you, I am the rules.
That's basically this character. Fuck you, I am the rules.
He's like, how? I stopped time. Well, this is my castle, so.
So fuck you, dude.
Even though they're not, they're in like a time void. I thought they weren't technically in the castle, but I guess they are.
I love how when the time god first shows up, Anos is like, "Oh yeah, this happens all the time. He really hates when I do this."
Yeah. This is the time god. He's whatever. Could you just let this slide? And the time god's like, no.
I'm literally only doing this. I'm literally only doing this to save 2 guys this time. It's fine. Just 2 demons, then I'll be done. But no, fuck you.
And then they go back in time and hold hands with their fetus selves.
And then they're individuals again.
Yeah. They're fine.
Yay.
And then Anos pulls out his sword, his special super powerful demon sword that the only people who've seen it before are dead.
He pulls out a sword that is so powerful it will kill someone directly down to their essence.
And he kills Ivus. But then brings him back after because he can.
Yeah, he brings him back.
So he destroys Ivus, and I don't know if he killed the time god. I don't think he did, because I feel like if you killed the time god, there's a lot of problems with that.
I feel like he killed him, but he didn't like totally eliminate him. So like the time god can still come back. But I think he only did that so he could separate the time god and Ivus.
Yeah. Because then Ivus gets killed, and then he brings Ivus back, and Ivus is like, oh, I fucked up. He had his memories. Ivus did remember, but he had his whole mindset altered to want to destroy his former master for some reason.
Yeah, whoever this Avos dilettante, Dilbert is.
Yeah, Avos Dilbert.
Avos Dilbert, Lord of the Workplace. And curly ties. But whoever that asshole is messing with stuff real hard.
But Ivis is free now, and he tells Ivis that he gives Ivis back his regular memories, at least the ones he cares about him having, and sends
Hey,
Ivis on
these
a
are the
mission.
memories
Yeah.
that I have of you. Here, have them.
He tells Ivis that they're going to basically pretend that Anos killed him here, and Ivis is gone, but Ivis is going to investigate from the shadows this Dilbert guy.
I want to know what the fuck's going to happen when he goes back to class. Yeah, so I killed one of the 7 demon advisors.
Yeah,
the
I killed basically
legendary
one of the
demons,
gods.
and also the god of time.
You guys didn't know about the god of time, but I killed the god of time. If anyone wants to argue, we'll take it outside.
If anyone wants to argue, we can take it up with the god of time. Oh, wait, we can't. I killed him. And then he's like, hey, if we make it back to the entrance with the staff before 9 o'clock, I get a perfect score.
Like, why do you care about that? He's like, well, I've basically taken over the world before, but I've never gotten a perfect score on a test.
And you know what? That's the perfect sentiment to end the episode on.
I do think there's something interesting about overpowered characters wanting to do mundane shit. Kind of like the thing with like Mob Psycho 100, where it's like, I don't know, just the idea of I could do all this cool and crazy stuff, but I think it's cooler to do something more mundane because I'm not used to that.
I can warp the fabric of reality with my mind, but I'd rather just like train up and do pretty good at the school relay race.
I think that would be awesome to kill the god of time and then just be like, hey, you're late. No, I'm not. Time is irrelevant.
Time doesn't exist anymore. I killed it. I murdered time.
Now is then is now, and now is next.
Whoa. What's tomorrow? Nothing.
Tomorrow
Might as well
now.
Be yesterday. Tomorrow is now and yesterday. And 2 weeks from now, that'll be now too.
It's always weird
but
having
it'll
a god
also
of
be
time
tomorrow.
because time technically isn't a thing.
Yeah, it's
like
an
I am the god
abstract
of a concept that humanity came up with in order to measure relationship to gravity.
That's more like, what's it called? That's more, shit, American Gods stuff. Because American Gods, the gods themselves are basically like, hey, we're just concepts that people think of. So like you've got, shit, I didn't watch it, and it's been a long time since I read it, so I can't remember. But you've got like fame and abstract concepts like that being represented as deities. It's a good
I want to
series.
imagine that, but like we have like internet concepts as gods.
I am the god of memes.
I am the simp god.
I have been at war with the Twitch thought god since time immemorial.
I and the incel devil are the two polar opposites. We both stand as at the ends of the earth.
Oh,
Each
God.
one of us waiting to wipe the other out.
All women are queens. If she breathes, she's a thought.
And instead you have like all around just the oceans like lightning striking, wind.
I feel like if there were internet gods, I would probably be as close to the god of memes as possible. Cuz that's what I do. I meme. That just is me.
The meme god giveth to us in these trying times.
But
Can I offer you an egg in these trying times? There you go. I am the meme god.
My God.
Enjoy this bounty.
I would enjoy that so much in a series where like it's just a bunch of weirdo internet gods and one of them is the god of memes and that's all he does is just quote memes for his dialogue.
Like he's
so
incapable of speaking in anything that's not a meme.
Dude, for real, you can't just not meme for more than like 2 seconds. Don't even bother asking him. Don't even bother.
Speaking of, and you know what? There's no real. I don't have a solid transitions for this, so let's Rent a Girlfriend.
Rent a Girlfriend. There.
This
You
is
don't
this
need a
is
transition. Just shout the name of the show.
this is a bad show.
I hate the main character so goddamn much.
Yeah,
So
so
much.
this week we get we see a lot more of his ex-girlfriend.
Beach episode.
It is the beach episode.
Beach one.
So the previous one ended where he's walking home, he's drunk with his ex-girlfriend, and she asked if he wanted to go back to her place, but they don't go back there because her brother's actually home. And they're just talking for a little bit, and he admits to her that he still likes her, or he's not over her. And then she starts bad-mouthing Chizuru, and he actually gets kind of upset about that.
He's like, hey, fuck you, dude. She's cool.
Well, he's more like, he's like, I don't know why, but that just kind of bothers me hearing you say that.
Yeah, that's right. He can't stand up for himself or anyone else with any
But then he
kind of real
apologizes and
impact.
runs away.
And she like loses it a little bit. Because she's like, what the fuck? He can't stand up to people. That dude doesn't have a spine.
He's got no balls.
I should know. I haven't seen them.
Yeah. But then they end up going to the beach, and he's surprised that he's like, "Is it all right if I'm here?" And he's like, "No, yeah, her name is Minami, I think."
Yeah.
Yes, Minami. They're like, "Yeah, no, Minami actually said to invite you and your girlfriend." He's like, "Yeah, she's busy though. It's so sad she can't come."
She's got stuff.
But of course she ends up going. She's just going with a different group of friends.
Yeah.
And hijinks ensue.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go to the beach, and he's kind of hitting it off with his ex-girlfriend. They're just hanging out, talking. It's fine.
'Cause she wants to break them up. Because she's on her phone all the time, and we see those convos, and it's like, I hate it. I hate them.
I wonder who she's texting, if we're going to find that out.
Me too. I'm more curious about that than anything else.
But yeah, she ends up trying to, like, break them up and stuff. And then, oh no, their groups ran across each other. But for some reason, no one recognizes her with glasses and braids. It's the pansy thing.
It's the Clark Kent theory. No one recognizes that Clark Kent and Superman look exactly the same because Superman doesn't wear fucking glasses. That's crazy. He's Superman.
I also like how, glasses and braids, that's immediately, like, knocks down, like, a girl's attractiveness. Like, with the whole pansy thing, like, oh, I'll put my hair in braids and put glasses on. Now everyone calls me gross and ugly.
Even though I like that. I still like them. They are
I don't know why
still
that's a thing.
just as adorable. It changes nothing. Because, like, they don't even bother.
She's fine.
They don't even bother to draw them all that differently. I will say they do a little bit. They do try and change up her style a little bit without, like, full on going ham
they
on
just
the
add
drawing.
more, like, glow effects to her.
Yeah. And it's like, guys.
But yeah, so he ends up going to the convenience store to get snacks for everybody.
Because he loses rock, paper, scissors to see who has to go.
And the bathroom is where he does all his deep thinking.
And who shows up?
Yeah, Chizuru shows up.
And oh no!
He pulls her into the bathroom with him because he's like needs to have a private conversation. I knew it the second that happened. I'm like, well, now they're screwed. Someone's gonna be outside that door soon.
This show is hitting all the beats. It is like romantic comedy 101.
It's got the checklist.
It really does. That's what some of this shit feels like. It feels like they're checking a list, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah. But yep, of course, Minami shows up outside, and they're like, "Uh-oh, what do we do?" And he tries to stall for time, and I knew immediately. I'm like, she's just gonna change into the uniform or like into her girlfriend mode.
Yeah, she's gonna be sexy girlfriend, and she's gonna walk out. And then it happens. Holy shit! Who'da thunk it? What a twist! The main character, who has been set up as being so useless that he cannot extricate himself from any of these situations
Oh,
without
but
the
before
help
they
of this
leave the
woman.
bathroom, he has like a conversation with her, like, "Yeah," like all cocky, like, "Yeah, so I might get back with my original girlfriend, because you're not actually my real girlfriend, so I just didn't want you to take offense to it or anything." I'm like, wow, what a cock.
What a what a dick! And she's like, "Hey, fuck you, dude. You pay me to be your girlfriend."
I don't even know why she bothers like doing all of this. I would have been just like, "I'm not working right now. I'm not your girlfriend."
Yeah, it's not like his grandma is there, because like that seems to be the only reason they've set up that
Yeah,
she actually feels bad for him.
why
Fuck
would
him.
you care about his ex-girlfriend? Like,
Just
oh, I
yeah,
gotta make sure he looks cool in front of his ex-girlfriend.
fuck him. Because that's the perfect opportunity to tell her what's going on, and no one else.
Yeah, but instead, she continues with the lie because she is an enabler.
I also hate how much she enables this asshole.
Yep, and then of course he takes her to hang out with his friends and ditches her again.
Because of course, and
Yeah,
he gets pulled off by his ex behind some suspicious rocks,
because of course that's part of her plans. But now Chizuru's stuck hanging out with his group.
and she
It just
kisses
sucks for her.
him. I feel bad.
Like, yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, she does it to herself. Like, you could pull out of this at any time.
That's the thing. Like, she enables him so much.
You guys are all at fault.
Everyone is awful. I feel like I would kind of enjoy this more if there was more perspective from Minami, because like I think it would have been more interesting if instead of just showing up at the convenience store, they showed her following him to the convenience store, like stalking him.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been more interesting too. I feel like the main character, just his perspective alone is just not interesting. It's annoying.
Yeah, he's a
Like anytime he's thinking to himself, I'm just like,
ass.
I don't like you.
He's a asshole. Make someone else the main character. Make the weird rat best friend the main character. I want to know what his
No,
deal is.
I think I'm good on that.
No, it'll be fine. You know, virgin's gonna virgin.
Yep. What a show.
You know, it really says something where we enjoyed the weird, nonsensical, like esoteric bullshit that set up the fight with the god of time in the misfit of Demon Academy than we did like a character drama.
It's just this series is so paint by the numbers that
Yeah.
it's just kind of like I've seen this a million times already.
It doesn't like I feel like the thing that they were really banking on to set this series apart was the fact that oh she's a rental girlfriend. He
But that
rents her.
it's like pretty much any excuse for like two characters that aren't like that into each other to be forced to hang out, which is like
Yeah,
every rom-com has that.
exactly. And it's not even like the that premise alone doesn't really seem to factor into it very much. Cuz like the main character can always afford to pay her.
At this point, it's just
She
two people that are caught in a lie together.
yeah, and that's not
I mean,
particularly interesting.
it's fine. It's just like just hey, let's just keep piling this on.
Oh, let's pile on the inconsistencies. I'm hoping when the other girls get introduced, it adds like something.
Yeah, even though
Just
they really don't matter because you join that late in a harem, you're not in the running.
oh, definitely. It is very clear who's gonna win, even though no one wins. No one's gonna fucking win.
There are no winners
Anyone,
here. Everyone
any
loses. We lose.
exactly. Kazuma will always be an asshole. Anyone who has to date Kazuma is stuck dating Kazuma.
Anyone who likes Kazuma is like already doing it wrong.
Yeah, I feel bad. Let's move on.
Fire Force.
Fire Force. The Force is on fire.
This is a cool episode. Every episode has been cool so far.
Yeah, I like
this is
season
the
2.
everyone gets together for just a big battle.
It's the big battle scene, guys. Everyone shows up.
Yep. So of course everything's on fire. The evangelists are attacking, trying to kidnap the girl who is the fifth pillar. Inca, I think her name is.
Yes, Inca.
Everyone's trying to kidnap Inca, and there's just infernals popping up everywhere.
And
it's like a zombie invasion of them.
And it's real bad because they have to remember this is a religious-based thing, so they have to offer prayers to everyone before they put them down.
Also, the 8th is pretty small, and this is a real big thing going on.
This is basically like they set a couple dudes loose to just fucking hit everybody with the infernal bugs. Shit is bad.
Yeah, and there's just not enough. They're split up into groups, and they really can't do anything, especially since their only priest is Iris. But then for
Tamaki, don't forget Tamaki.
I was about to say the lieutenant and Vulcan are trying to take on some infernals, and they're trying to buy time. But then Tamaki shows up, and she is in the priestess garb.
And she not for long.
Not for long, because it's Tamaki, so her lucky lewdness kicks in, and she just loses most of it. Besides the what's the headpiece called? The habit. She loses everything but the habit, pretty much. And Volk even comments like, "Wow, everything but the habit."
What? I like I get it, but that happened, and I sighed a little bit. I gave out a little sigh.
I don't know. I fully expect it of her character.
No, I expect it. I'm just like, here it is again.
But be like, not all right, really. Tamaki's here with full clothes on. How long is that going to last?
Doesn't really add anything to any scene. She just shows up and becomes naked.
I think Tamaki has been useful once, and it's just because her naked body distracted that one evangelist dude in the subway station.
I'm pretty sure. Because, she was damsel in distress in, the big fight in season 1. When,
Lieutenant Lecter.
Yeah. But I think, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Because all the other times she's just kind of been there, and then all her clothes fall off, and she's just... Oh, no. Other than that, yeah. Who's been the most useful? Arthur.
Yeah, but they sent him after Plasma Girl.
Because he's the only person that can fight her, because his plasma gets in the way of her ability.
Exactly. Even though he's, kind of dumb.
But he can fight. What?
It works. Arthur can fight now.
I feel like this is the season of Arthur.
Yeah,
and I feel all for it.
Me too, but I feel like it's up to us to remind people of the fight in season 1 where Arthur realizes that if he wields his sword in his main hand, he fights better.
That's true. But I think that finally established that he's an absolute moron, because I didn't know how stupid he was supposed to be before.
Yes. And now he's actually a little bit more competent. He's more delusional than stupid now.
Yeah, but he goes to fight her because he's the only person with an ability that counters hers.
And they need to take out the enemy commander.
And Shinra's basically fighting Karan, the big dude, who just makes explosions by walking.
I like this dude. He is a strong man.
Yeah, so he ends up fighting Shinra because the two of them are just locked in combat while they're trying to grab Inca.
And it's actually pretty cool. I like the way this fight works out.
And I am pretty sure that Inca is going to go with the evangelists, because Shinra mentioned, hey, I'm going to try to save you. And she's like, what? That's so boring.
Yeah, I think that's pretty set.
And every time he mentions, yeah, we're gonna take you away. You're gonna come with us. And she's all like grinning and stuff like, oh no, danger.
Oh no,
She
let
gets off with the
go.
danger of the situation.
She gives refusal to that danger like Willy Wonka begs for help in the first Willy Wonka movie. Oh no, help. Someone call 911.
Yeah.
Please, someone, anyone.
Yep. She's into the danger, so oh no, they're taking me away. The crazy death cult. This is the worst.
And Shinra's confused and getting punched in the head
Like,
repeatedly.
wait, like you want to go into a dangerous situation?
I want the world to be danger.
Yeah. So of course she's gonna fit right in with those guys.
And turns out Shinra's moves don't work on Karen because Karen is he's too big, he's too buff, he's too beefy.
Oh, but
He's
to mention the other people that show up, the bubblegum guy
yes,
from the fifth shows up as well as Juggernaut, the dude with the big hands. So they come and
big
help out Shinra so he can go and chase after Inca.
yeah, and they're shooting bubbles and missiles and all kinds of cool shit at dudes. They
The
take care of
ice
the
guy,
jobbers.
the ice guy shows up to help out the Lieutenant Vulcan and Tamaki.
And he is a priest, so he can actually like offer prayers.
And a shit ton of people from the second and the fifth show up to help, and a bunch of priests from the first.
I I expected it, but it was still cool when it happened because
Yeah,
it cuts to a scene where Captain Obi is standing with Iris, and he's like, she puts so much stuff into those prayers. She's gonna run out of steam fairly soon. And then it cuts to a back shot of like the squad of nuns walking, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Battle firefighter nuns.
yep. And so turns out he gets asked by I think he gets asked by Maki or the creepy-eyed guy, something like that. They said, "Hey, I thought we couldn't get any reinforcements." He's like, "Not officially, but I called in some personal favors."
I called in a personal favor.
Yeah, I
And
fully
it's
expect
cool.
at some point Benimaru to show up too,
Yeah, Benimaru is almost certainly going to show up.
with his flying brooms and just the aerial explosions.
I expect it, and I'm happy about it because I like Benimaru a lot.
Fire Force season 2 is real good.
I like a lot of the side characters, and
I like how, I don't know, people feel more developed. I think just because we had a whole season with them already. Oops, excuse me. We had a whole season with them already.
yeah, basically the entire first season is spent developing everyone's characters, and now that we know who everyone is and what they do, we can really we can get into the meat and potatoes. We can get into that sauce.
I'm looking to, because the big battle and stuff is cool, but I want to get back into the individual fights because that was my favorite part of season 1 is the subway fights where everyone had their matchups.
Yeah,
Where Arthur fought the Mist guy. Um,
that's why I think
the lieutenant fought Arrow, and like both the range people going at it.
right. That's why I like the Shinra Charon fight because it's like you've got this very intense one-on-one battle between these two people and just nothing that Shinra tries works. And then he remembers the other hand sign he did when he was training that caused him to freaking blow up. So we're gonna try some hard rock shit to save the day.
I also think one of the best ones was Captain Obi versus Dr. Giovanni because you had both the gadget people fight each other. And the part where he gets the ladder, climbs up the ladder to jump off and do like the elbow drop.
Yes, doing a flying pile driver is pretty good. Anything with Captain Obi is great. I love that guy.
Captain Obi's one of my favorites.
Me too.
I like everyone in the eighth.
The eighth is a lot of good people.
I
I
think
think everyone is very distinct and has their own thing, and
My
it all
least
kind of
favorite is
meshes
the
and works
creepy
together.
doctor guy, but that's only because he hasn't really done much.
Yeah, he is the newest, so like he's still kind of we're still figuring him out.
And we already know he works with the bad guys, like because he's friends
Exactly.
with Joker. So yeah.
Joker.
So it's only a matter of time before he like turns on the group or something. So I'm just
Yeah.
kind of waiting on that.
Part of me kind of hopes when that moment arrives, he's like, nah, I like it here. I like these guys.
That's true. Actually, I forgot. He was the only one that was with Shinra when he was in that fight with Sho.
Yeah, he's the one who broke down the science of like, hey, you're gonna go so fast you disassemble your molecules. So like, don't fuck that up.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he
Anime
was there for that. So you know what? That was a cool part. He was there for a
anime
cool thing.
is dumb as fuck sometimes, but like it's pretty cool.
And if you like
Hey,
anime, maybe you should keep watching us because we talk about it a lot.
we kind of do. It's a little off-putting to some people, but we do kind of talk about anime a lot.
I dare say it's our thing.
One might say that it is our thing. If you
Our
want to keep
thing
up
is
with
anime.
us, if you're watching on YouTube, like the video. If you did like it, subscribe to our channel to get further updates. Make sure you have the notification bell turned on, just because sometimes it won't alert people, because YouTube is a little weird sometimes with stuff like that.
And if YouTube is not your thing, don't worry because we are on several other platforms.
We got the Spotify's, we got the Google Plays music, we got the iTunes, we got the iHearts radios, and we got the Deezers if you're across the pond.
And you can also find us on social media.
We got Facebooks and Twitters where we post updates to our posts whenever we post something new
At Protagonist seat respectively.
for both. So like it's pretty easy to find us.
Yeah. So you know what? That's our stuff. So stick with us because we got more shit coming next week.
Yeah, we'll give you all the hot scoops, all
We're gonna
the
tell you
hot
what
loops.
we're gonna go into Snake Girl Anatomy more next week. We're gonna try our best to stay out of Vor territory.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, but next episode is literally the Snake Girl episode, so we'll see how that goes.
We might not be able to do it honestly.
I don't hold your breath. That's all I'm saying. Don't hold your breath.
But yeah,
But
we'll see you next time.
see you later. Goodbye.
Bye bye.